Yo, what's good, y'all? Thoughts of a Predicate winner. I'm back at you with another one. Y'all know what it is, right? Whenever I wear this orange shirt. When I wear this orange shirt, that means that I have been so busy that I have not had time to even change my outfit in a swift-like manner before starting these YouTube videos. So that means that I'm running low on patience. I'm running low on kindness and gentleness and all the fruits of the spirit. Just being honest, keeping it a buck. But what's good about that is I did my Upchurch video yesterday. So now it's Tom Tuesday. So even if I'm out of patience, I got the Hangover gang coming into these comment sections saying what's up to me and making me feel loved and respected. So appreciate y'all, man. Let's go ahead and get into this video. This is going to be Cancer by Tom Macdonald. It's a new request. It might have been on the list already, but I have a unique situation here where I was looking through my comments. Don't even remember when you look through your comments and you're a creator or whatever on YouTube. There's a community section where you can look at all the comments, and you're not really paying attention to where the comments come from per se. You're just kind of looking at different comments, and if it's intriguing, you might look at it. But it was one of my Tom videos. And there is a very pleasant lady who is in the hospital right now fighting cancer. She asked me to do fighter and cancer and said that she was subscribed. She loved my channel, loved watching. She's watched all my Tom reactions. You did miss fighter, though, because I've done fighter. But I told her, yeah, no problem. I'll get on cancer. Because she's literally in the hospital right now. So y'all say a quick prayer for her. Let her know in the comments that you got love for her. That's one of your own Hangover gang. That's one of us out there, man, going through it, struggling. Let her know that we're here to fight with her and that we got love for her, man. And also, there's a member, which I'm not even sure if she's comfortable with me letting people know what's going on with her, so I'm not going to name her. Same with the lady before, but there's a member as well that is about to start her fight with cancer. So we're coming into this video with heavy hearts, man. I don't know if hopefully the song is serious. You know what I mean? Before I should probably check into that before I do tributes. But if I know Tom, you know what I mean? If we know Tom, I think that this will be something, even if it's not, we'll figure out a way to tie it in to something heartfelt. But shout out to both of you ladies, and thank y'all for your attention. Thank you for your time. Thank you for coming here and watching my videos and my take on anything in life. I just wanted to let y'all know I really appreciate both of you. Thank you so much. And before we get into this video, please make sure to click that like button and that subscribe button for me. It helps me to get into the algorithms. We gotta reach the whole Hangover gang. My goal is to have a conversation with Tom one day. We got to make that happen. So let's keep on sharing this. Share it with your mama, your brother, your sister, your friends. Share it to all the community pages that you can share it to, where we talk about Tom and we talk about Hangover gang stuff. And let's keep this thing growing, man. Shout out to y'all. Y'all are the ones that make it all possible. So just wanted to say thank y'all. For real, from the bottom of my heart. I do that from time to time. I don't ever want to forget to do that. So sometimes I just want to elaborate a minute and take an extra minute just to say thank you and let you guys know that the appreciation is real. So let's go ahead and get into this video, man. This is Tom Macdonald, Cancer. All right, let's do this.
Everybody knows someone who's sick. 40% will get cancer. Only half's gonna live. Your mom and your dad and your sister standing.
What was that statistic?
40% will get cancer. Only half's gonna live. Your mom and your dad and your sister stand inside a room, and someone won't survive it. Do you hope it isn't you? I swear that cancer has a cure, but they're refusing to make it. They've done like 40 years of research, 90 billion in donations. We've been running for the cure and wearing ribbons for ages. Why are people still going through radiation? It's crazy. $100 billion industry, they can't afford to end it, and nobody wants to die. Our only option is to spend it. We'd give anything to stick around for just another second. Give a fortune to the doctors who promise they can extend it. The profits are astronomical, the hospitals and the clinics are filling coffins with dollars. It's awful, let's just admit it. We're all human, we'll keep fighting cause it's how we survive. But it's scary cause we don't know where we'll go when we die. Don't give up, I know you're strong. Show them all your fire. The days are hard, the nights are long. But you are a fighter when it's dire. You burn brighter in the dark. You're a survivor when you're tired.
Atta girl.
You hold tighter, you have heart.
All right, before we get into the second verse, I do want to discuss that first verse a little bit, and I'll share something with you guys. So 10 years ago is when I started working in this vape industry, right? I'm going to tie this together, I promise. I started working in this vape industry about 10 years ago. Now, this industry they've been coming after this industry for a very long time. Now you're starting to see commercials and YouTube ads and everything else about how bad vapes are for you. And I want to explain why. I've explained it in a different video, but we're just going to bring it in a short way here. So with vaping, this is not a big company. This is a bunch of individualized independent companies that create something big, right? So when big tobacco starts losing their money because tobacco sales are declining because vape sales are rising, and keep in mind throughout all of this that the original intent for vaping was to be a non-smoking cessation tool. So what it's made for is to help people quit smoking cigarettes, right? That was the invention. That was the intent behind the invention. Now, they sent people out and started to figure out that the main thing that was driving people like, well, why do you do that over cigarette? Well, I think it's healthier for me. They had studies that showed that vaping was 95% better for you than smoking. Not better for you than, just better for you than smoking cigarettes. That was, it was conclusive evidence. It was done by the Royal College of Physicians in the UK. All right. They even sell vape stuff. They were selling vape. I don't know if they still do it, but they were even selling vape stuff in hospitals. Facts. So as time trickles on and continues to go by, they figured out that flavors is what people were gravitating to. So what they did was they tried to say that flavors were for kids, and they tried to put it as a kids thing. Like, we got to get rid of this for the kids. But really, when you start following the money and that blood money trail, and what it led to was big tobacco paying their settlement to each state, because the state in that settlement is so the states can't sue big tobacco for the people in their states being killed by it. And I'm trying to think of the quickest way to do this. And all right, so let's do it this way. All right, you follow the money, big tobacco, big pharma, and our states all losing a tremendous amount of money on a yearly basis because of vaping. So they came after vaping real hard. And that was originally what made me lose my trust in big pharma, the FDA, because the FDA comes after it too, our states, all of it. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, these big corporations are just about the money. They don't really care about your health. You know what I mean? Because they're lying. They're blatantly lying. They're acting like there is no evidence that insinuates that vaping is better for you than smoking. And you could even hide a little bit and just say, like, there have been some studies that have shown that it's a little bit better for you than smoking. It's a lot better for you than smoking is what the study said. But they could even do that, and I would respect it more than what they did. What they did was they tried to group it in with cigarettes. And they say that they do that to try to keep the kids away from it, which makes sense. Like, I don't want kids doing this either. It is a non-smoking cessation tool. You're supposed to use it to quit smoking cigarettes. So that's the intent behind the invention. And I'm using this as an example here because if you trust in big pharma and what Tom said here about cancer, and there's got to be some kind of way to take care of this at this point, billions of dollars spent, you're wrong, because they care more about money than they do the people's health. That's the sad reality, and it's true. So who's there for these people that end up having this when you can't put your trust in these bigger corporations? We have to be there for each other. We have to show love towards one another. We have to be the ones that encourage and give strength. And God will give you the strength that you need. You know what I mean? If his plan is for you to see through it, God will give you the strength that you need to push through it if you lean on him and put your trust in him. But not for a second do I believe that Big Pharma, the FDA, and all of these big corporations, not for a second do I think that they actually have the intent of people's well-being on their hearts. Follow the money, and you'll see why things happen.
Nothing matters if you don't have your health. All the money in the world doesn't help. The good might go to heaven and the bad might go to hell, but no one wants to leave here, you can tell. And cancer touches everyone, it's in our genetics. And our world's become so toxic, it's all carcinogenic. We've polluted the water, the air, the food we're ingesting is full of hormones and poison. Our population's infected. They sell us cigarettes and liquor, built a business on addictions. We've been paying them to kill ourselves. We're dying to keep living. It's the...
That's hard. That's super hard. Run that back.
The world's become so toxic, it's all carcinogenic. We've polluted the water, the air, the food we're ingesting is full of hormones and poison. Our population's infected. They sell us cigarettes and liquor, built a business on addictions. We've been paying them to kill ourselves. We're dying to keep living. It's the system, it's a prison. We keep trying to beat it. We get cancer from keeping all of our demons a secret. And our insurance don't cover the things we need to defeat it. And even if it does, then we might die from the treatment. Our best defense is living like we do not know what cancer is. Fight it if you have it and pray that there's something after this.
Fire. He killed that whole verse was fire. It was emotional. It tugged on your heartstrings. That was fire right there. That whole verse. Because what you're doing is you're giving people that hope that I was just talking about we need to be doing for each other. If somebody sees this and they're going through it, shout out to the people out there that are. You can look at this and you can say, okay, you know what I mean? It's me. It has to be hunger driven. I have to fight. And you have to have that attitude to make it through stuff like this anyway. But if you come out on the other side of all of this, then you have the ability to essentially stick your finger up to the middle finger up to these corporations and to all this, because I agree with him, bro. There's most definitely some kind of cure out there. Most definitely.
Don't give up, I know you're strong. Show them all your fire. The days are hard, the nights are long. But you are a fighter when it's dire. You burn brighter in the dark. You're a survivor when you're tired. You hold tighter, you have heart.
You won't know how to be brave till you choose to fight when you're afraid.
You won't know how to be brave till you choose to fight what you're afraid of. That's hard right there, boy. That's hard. That's inspiring. That is inspiring.
You won't know how to be brave till you choose to fight when you're afraid. And you can experience strength till you struggle to carry the weight. And you won't know why you have faith till you look the devil in his face. And you don't know what you can take till you realize you didn't break.
Don't give up, I know you're strong. Show them all your fire. The days are hard, the nights are long. But you are a fighter when it's dire. You burn brighter in the dark. You're a survivor when you're tired. You hold tighter, you have heart.
You know what's super hard about this too, bro, is he didn't do this based off any reasons of money. That's not why you do a song like this, bro. This song isn't gonna sell, like, you know what I mean? He's not. This is why I respect Tom so much. The more I do, the more I respect him. Because at the end of the day, he did that to give people a sense of hope. And that's how you know, like, okay, He really cares about the people, and that's why his fans are so drawn to him, even the ones that don't like hip hop. And in the beginning, I felt like a lot of y'all aren't gonna like me because I like hip hop. But I found that even a lot of y'all who don't like hip hop will still watch my hip hop reactions and my hip hop stuff, because you can tell that I have that sense of I want to help. You know what I mean? And there are very few people on earth like that. How do I know? Because I'm one of them. And it's very difficult for me to find people that I align with in that way. But I'm telling y'all, I truly believe, I don't know him, I truly believe from the bottom of my heart that Tom Macdonald is one of those people. I think all he wants to do is help. But if you're one of the people that gets in the way of that, or if you're one of those people that are out here like a big pharma just trying to hurt, it seems like, I have to be careful with how I word things, but he will fight you, he will battle you. And to me, I think that is the most stand up. That's what it means to be stand up. You know what I mean? I remember growing up, like going to high school, and I was a troublemaker, man. I was tossed out of schools left and right. I was always getting suspended. I was always on the verge of expulsion, been expelled multiple times. But there was one that I went to where this, it was the assistant principal, his son was in special ed. And I remember coming up, like, you had to be hard, like at the school I was at. Like, you had to prove dominance. You had to prove that or you would get ran over. It was that simple where I went to school at. And I remember I didn't know that this was the assistant principal's son, but dude would just always be running down the hallways, jumping around like a rabbit. But the dude was 6'6", like super tall, super obnoxious, wilding out. Well, we're in the lunch line. Not him. He was sitting, I think he was sitting down at a table or something like that, but he had like a couple of bucks. It cost like $2 to get a slice of pizza or whatever. He had like a couple of bucks or whatever sitting on the table, the special ed kid. And I watched somebody break out of line and go over there and take that boy's $2. And he couldn't, the guy couldn't speak, you know? Not really. He made like noises and stuff like that. And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just telling you what it was. And dude went over there and took that $2 off the table. Nobody saw it. Nobody saw it but me. And I walked over there just out of a basic reaction. Yo, put that back, bro. Put that back. What are you doing? And he was like, I ain't putting it back. So I snatched it out of his hand. He had it in his hand. I snatched it out of his hand. I went and slammed it over there beside the special ed kid. I feel bad for I keep calling him that, but I don't know his name. So, and I turn around and Buddy comes over and he pushes me and we get into a brawl, right? I do my thing. I handled that. We go to the principal's office and I'm on the verge of expulsion. And the assistant principal was like, after they already talked to the other guy, they had cameras and stuff. They knew that he started it or whatever. But he told me, the assistant principal was like, that's my son, Mr. Joseph. My name is Joseph Nelson Hill. That was my son, Mr. Joseph. I wanted to tell you that I appreciate what you did. So we're going to hold off on the expulsion. We're not going to expel you. And while I was thankful for that, I remember that being the first time I ever said in my life, I think I must have been 15 years old. I looked at him and I was like, I didn't do that so I wouldn't get expelled. I did that because that was the right thing to do. And I looked at him in his eye and I told him that because I was such a misunderstood kid. And I got in trouble so much and it was always over a misunderstanding. And now a lot of stuff I did on my own accord, but it was still I was just misunderstood. You know what I mean? I wasn't a trouble starter. I just always found myself in the midst of trouble and I had to fix the problem, you know? And that's where I found myself a lot. And I just remember I needed that moment to let him know, like, I'm not some arrogant thugging dude that's like rummaging your hallways trying to start trouble. This is me. This is who I am. And people like that are far and few. I know that. But And I don't look for no pats on the back. I never will. It's just not what I'm in it for. I'm in it because I feel like I need to do what's right. And a lot of that comes from the Holy Spirit, even though I didn't even have the Holy Spirit at that point in time. But it's just, some people just have that. Maybe it's a gift, or some people just have that ability, maybe. I don't know. Gift, ability, whatever you want to call it, to just look adversity in the face and say, like, no, this is wrong. And listen, later on down the road, when he came back to school, because he's the one that got suspended. When he came back to school, I remember him coming up to me at lunch. You know what I mean? However later down the road that was, and I remember him looking at me and he was like, dog, I was wrong for that. Salute. And that's always how it works out. Always. For me, it's always worked out that way. Like, a provision happens where it's like, oh, man, I shouldn't have done that, or whatever the case may be. And I just think that Tom has that same capability. And I think he does it well, man. He does what he's supposed to do with it. And I appreciate him for that. And my sidebar to this is going to be directly to the people that are dealing with this, or if you have a child dealing with this, or if you have a parent dealing with this, or if you have a sister, brother, friend, whatever, dealing with this, and you have a relationship with God, and that relationship is strong. This is what I want to relay to y'all, right? Because for me, like when my daughter gets sick, either one of them, when they get sick, whenever they're dealing with something that's out of my control and I can't wrap my head around it, or whatever the case may be, as the protector, provider, and priest of my household, my immediate reaction is always, God, what did I do? What did I do? Why do they have to, are you punishing them because of me? And that is my immediate response every time. So that's not even something that I can really work on changing. I pray about it later and I'm like, you know what I mean? It's not my fault. You know what I'm saying? Things like this happen, blah, blah, blah. But I also want to make sure that y'all know out there that if it's happened to you, don't do that to yourself of like, well, is this because of something I did, God? Because what that does is if you don't have the brain to like turn that switch off, like, oh, I didn't mean that. You know what I mean? If you don't have the brain switch to where you can just say, of course, you know what I mean? I have an all-loving God. You know what I mean? That's not what this is. Then you need to just pray on that. You know what I mean? Because I don't want you to feel like it's your fault. Or if you have that family member, that son, that brother, that father, the mother, whatever, somebody directly related to you, where you're in charge of the spirituality in your household, or whatever the case may be, just don't allow yourself to go down that hole of like, what did I do? You know what I mean? Because what that'll do is it'll cause disdain on your relationship with God if you don't have the power to flip it. So I plead with y'all, pray, have other people pray with you, pray out loud. And sometimes you got to go through it, and you just have to fold your hands and you have to pray that God gives you the strength to fight. And I know that that's easier said than done. I know that that's not what a lot of people want to hear when they're actually going through something. But I'm telling y'all that God is still God, you know. This is a very thought-provoking song. It was really good, and I hope I did it justice, man. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I said it in jest, but I am in one of those states right now where it's just kind of like, I got vacation in 2 days. I'm ready for it, and you know what I mean? Trying to make sure that everything is on the up and up. I am dealing with, like, my daughter is sick right now. You know what I mean? So I'm dealing with a lot right now. It's just, you know, one of them things. But we're ready to go on this vacation and ready to kind of let loose of some of this stress and some of this angst, and just, we're going to go to Atlanta and just have a good time out there. But I'm praying for y'all this holiday season, especially the ones of y'all that are going through something like this, something like cancer, something like a family member going through cancer, or maybe somebody passed away in your family from cancer last year or just a few months ago. Maybe this is the first time doing Christmas without that person. I'm sorry, and you have my condolences, and I'm praying for y'all. Just, I hope y'all can take some kind of comfort in that. And I pray that you find the strength to battle and get through what you got to get through to get on the other side of it. And that's it, man. Much love to you guys. And thank y'all for putting me onto this song. This was a really good one. That second verse he went on, that second verse was crazy, bro. That was a super, super dope verse skill-wise, and the message behind it was piercing. So I like this a lot. This was definitely one of those heart-wrenching songs that'll make you want to come back and play it again. So thank you guys, man. I appreciate y'all. Y'all be safe out there, and make sure to hit that like button and that subscribe button for your boy on your way out. And just know that I appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all. Peace.